Marhaba, and welcome to the Matrix Green Pill, where real people connect.
Hello and welcome back to the Matrix Green Pill podcast. I'm Hilmarie Hutchison, and today we have a truly inspiring guest with us. Joining me is Hitesh Sharma, the managing director and founder of Taste Studio Catering. Hitesh's journey from his early exposure to the food industry through his family's restaurant to establishing Taste Studio in 2015 is a testament to his resilience, entrepreneurial spirit, and vision for delivering unparalleled experiences. Hitesh, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me on.
To start off, let's talk about your background, where you grew up. What was the dream as a kid?
Honestly, I'm not a dreamer. I wouldn't have any dream as a kid, or I wouldn't remember a dream as a kid. I was born in Mumbai in India way back in 1985, living in a joint family, having the love and support of other family members, also getting spoiled a bit by my dad because he was a carefree person. He loved to live life to the fullest. And I think I'm following his footsteps with a bit of change here and there. Yeah, that's me.
Wow, that sounds brilliant. To have a dad that sets such an excellent example to live life to the fullest and to be in that joint family where you experienced so much love from a young age. You're very fortunate. There's many people that don't have that excellent start in life. Once you grew up, you finished school, what was the plan?
Oh, while I was in school, back then, if you ask me, I recall I wanted to continue my journey as a cricketer. I did play cricket professionally for my school and then for my city on a lower level, which was already pretty high level in our city because I'm from Mumbai. The competition in cricket is a lot over there. However, I didn't pursue that dream for more realistic reasons. Back then, it wasn't about the IPL. It wasn't about too much of money. It was more struggle and more competition. So I concentrated a bit more on my studies. I didn't know I wasn't going to study as hard as I did in school because I went to college and I started living life to the fullest from then on. It was also the period where my dad was going through some financial struggles. So I decided to not be a burden on him, at least in the financial sense, and to continue living at the way I wanted to live. Partying, going out, traveling, eating out. I started doing some side hustles and making the extra pocket money for myself.
That sounds excellent. So you had to figure out from an early age how to make some cash for yourself because dad wasn't always going to be able to provide what you needed. So then what were some of the experiences that you had growing up during these years and how did that influence your later life and your later decisions?
I guess I became street smart and independent and a lot more responsible from that time on when I started earning money for myself, for my own daily needs and requirements. Obviously, I didn't need to struggle as hard as others would be doing in the world wherein they don't have the support from their parents for a house or for food. No, that was never a concern. It was more about the extra bit that I would like to do along with my friends, go out and so on. But that did make me street smart. That did make me a very responsible person. And both those aspects are something that has some way or the other, or in a large way, have me be where I am today in life.
So then what happened? Give us the backstory about how did you move then from your studying and from Mumbai into running such a successful business, Taste Studio, today?
But there's been a lot of different things that have happened from that time on. I did finish my graduation in Mumbai, but that wasn't the end of it. I ended up doing my post-graduation in London. Again, I did not burden my family with the fees and the loan and the expenses of a city like London. I did fund myself. That was another game changer in my life. It got me more responsible. It showed me how life would be to live alone. And believe it or not, I would owe it to luck as well. I did get a lot of good jobs, part-time jobs while I was doing my master's that helped me not only fund my education, but also my lifestyle, which continued. It did not change at all. Got me more responsible, got me more standing on my feet already then. Unfortunately, it was 2007, 2008. If it wasn't for that, and if it wasn't for the bad, rainy, wet weather of London and the cold weather of London, I wouldn't have been in Dubai today. But I guess everything happens for a reason. I did come back to Mumbai, and that's when I landed up my dream job. in marketing. I was a marketing manager pan India for L&T Infra. On the food side, I was still supporting my dad and his restaurant and helping him promote the food aspect of the restaurant and bar. It was a restaurant and a bar, and he never concentrated too much on promoting the food aspect. He was more into promoting the alcohol aspect. For me, coming back from London, getting more exposure, getting more responsible, I did help him a lot to grow the food aspect. And then eventually, when I got busy with my job in L&T as a marketing manager, he had already got the platform set for himself and he took it on from there. Eventually, post being in Mumbai, after being in London, I started feeling claustrophobic with the traffic and the pollution in Mumbai, even though I was born brought up there. I think I got spoiled in London. I came for a short holiday to Dubai and I fell in love with the city. I went back home after the holiday and decided I am going to move. That's what brought me to Dubai. I made up my mind and made things happen. That's what landed me in Dubai.
Deciding to leave Mumbai. So you had that experience being back with your dad, supporting him in his food business. So you understood something about the bar and restaurant business.
Yes.
So when you then decided to make this move to Dubai, did you have a plan what you were going to do when you landed in Dubai?
Yes, I did. I did want to continue my journey in the corporate field, in the corporate world, in the marketing space. I did enjoy my time and I did enjoy the comfort of a regular income in my job in Mumbai. So I did come here to do a corporate job. However, it didn't pan out the way I thought it would. And I ended up opening a business in my first month of being in Dubai. And guess what? That was again in the food and beverage industry. I think I was destined to be around food, and I opened up a foodstuff trading company wherein I was dealing with restaurants and catering companies, supplying uncooked food, raw food to them as a trading company. My dream was still, even then, to open my own restaurant, but now in Dubai. Because I had the exposure, had the liking, thanks to my dad's restaurant in Bombay. During trading, I learned a lot about the market and realized that the restaurant industry in Dubai is not as lucrative as the catering industry. Believe it or not, 3 years down the line after I came here, an opportunity presented itself and Taste Studio was born out of that opportunity.
Excellent. What you thought initially was the direction you would go sort of took a little bit of a detour, still staying in food, but focusing more on the catering side. So what was this opportunity that came your way?
One of the clients that I was supplying food to through my trading company, it was a catering company established 4 years prior to us opening Taste Studio. They had planned to close down shop within a month due to internal management issues. I was pretty friendly with the sales manager as well as a few members of the office of that company. And the sales manager came up to me and is like, hey, you know what? We're all going to not have a job after a month, but there's business and all those clients are my clients. I need to take it somewhere. Would you be interested in opening a catering company and we continue the way we are over here, but this time with you under new brand name? And it sounded very lucrative. It's a ready business. I just need to open a company. So let me just give it a thought. And over the weekend, when I thought about it, obviously I spoke with him a bit more about the clients that he had and the numbers and so on. With a bit of experience in the business side and the food side, it was a very lucrative option, like I mentioned earlier. And guess what? Within 24 days, Taste Studio was registered, and within 31 days, Taste Studio was up and running.
One would almost think that your journey has been so smooth, no problems. It just sounds so fantastic. But I'm so sure that is not the full picture. I know that there were some difficulties along the way, some hardships that you faced. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, you're absolutely right. Whoever thinks the journey was smooth and easy is probably living in La La Land. It was definitely nowhere close to smooth. It was definitely nowhere close to simple, straightforward. It was 18 hours of work every day, even though it sounds like it was easy. It was 18 hours of work every day. It was a brand new team. I did not know what they did back in the house. I just knew I was supplying to them. And I just knew what they were doing with their clients. But I didn't have so much experience into corporate catering at all. And the primary business was corporate catering. Also, I learned and I saw so many new cuisines, so many new dishes being made in front of me. This is something I hadn't seen happen in my restaurant. My restaurant was primarily Indian and Chinese food, a la carte system. When I started the catering company, day one, I am seeing big pans of grilled chicken, big pans of steamed veggies, a bigger pan of penne pasta, this, that, 10, 12 dishes going out. And I'm like, wow, we make these things. The most surprising thing for me that I saw on day one in my own company was we were making mini breads for mini sandwiches in house. We made our own in house bakery, which was also part of the old company. So I'm like, okay, we don't just do hot food, we do salads, we do bakery, we make our own breads. And this was a complete first time to me being back of the house and seeing this happen. And I was really proud that it was happening for my own company. From then on, we've just been innovating more and coming up with new ideas, new dishes, and the journey kept has been continuing since 2015.
Can you, for our listeners who don't know about your business, could you please unpack for our business what is Taste Studio Catering? How does it work? And just unpack it for us a bit.
Sure. Usually when the word catering comes to mind in most people's mind, they believe it's only for parties or for large gatherings. However, that's not the case with us. We specialize in corporate catering, daily services to corporates, lunch and breakfast buffets, but also for small trainings and conferences or meetings they might have in their office. Additionally, we also cater to private parties from as small as 5 people to as large as 1,000 people. We also specialize a lot into outdoor events, concerts. So it's the whole spectrum. It's not just catering to privates. It's not just catering to corporates. It's catering to multiple avenues. Additionally, we also do packed meals, again, for working people who can't cook at home. They want to just order when they're in office. That's another aspect of our business. And then we got, thanks to our customers, we came up with a very unique service way back in 2019, wherein we had people who just wanted to have platters of our mini sandwiches, canapes, and our tasty desserts, again, which we make in-house. And they're like, listen, we don't want your setup. We don't want your staff, but we want your food. How can we get that? We're a group of 10 people coming home. I don't have space. And what do we do? And that's when we came up with the concept of delivery in platters, wherein we'll just deliver the food to you in nice golden platters. And you can just open it up and leave it on your table. And it feels like you've got that food. It looks beautiful. And you've got a nice variety of that stuff left on your table. Thanks to our customers, we did incorporate a lot of new services and a lot of new types of catering options. I think I've covered most of them. The last but not the least, we got so much demand from people saying, listen, we need to try our food. We are 4 people. We live so far. We're coming this side. We ended up opening our own cafe as well. So people can visit our cafe in Al Barsha. You can grab our sweet treats. You can have our bakery items. You can have our sandwiches there, have a cup of coffee. And yeah, you can get to understand what Taste Studio Catering quality and service is all about.
That's fantastic. Wow, you certainly cover everything. I absolutely love that you unpack that for us. And that really needed some unpacking because, listening or just hearing the name, people could easily think, well, I need to go through an event agency for them to get a catering company and to do something big. So I love that you have expanded your offerings so that you can go for the big corporates, but also every single person can benefit from the setup that you've created. Well done. Congratulations on all that you have achieved in growing this business to such a large extent.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I know that you've just mentioned lots of dishes, lots of things being made, but I also know that sustainability is something that's important to you, especially when it comes to reducing food waste. Can you tell us a little bit about your approach to help minimize food wastage?
Minimizing food wastage or not wasting food has been part of my life since I was a little kid. My mom has taught me, inculcated in my brain, forced it down my throat or whatever you call it, since I was a little child. She never allowed me to leave even a speck of food on my own plate. Obviously, growing up, living in London, living in Mumbai, being in the food trading industry in Dubai, and having so much of exposure while traveling and so on, I didn't find it right at all for any kind of food waste. So I implemented certain policies and strategies. And now we have, I mean, not now, since the first year itself, we had a separate division in-house, which is the quantity control team. This is something which people look at me and say, what do you mean quantity control? Why are you wasting money on paying salary to a team which does quantity control? I mean, they don't get it, but it benefits the company in many ways, but it also benefits in reducing food wastage, which is a global problem. If you ask me, there are 500 people or 5 million people who probably go hungry every day. And guess what? Here we're throwing away food because we're not putting a bit more thought into how to control the wastage. I didn't find it right. And I've made sure that we provide the right quantity of food and inculcated the values of minimal food wastage within my team, within every division of the company. And that's allowed us to really keep our food wastage very, very low.
That's excellent to hear, really, because as you say, the food shortage is a worldwide problem. So in your own way, in your company, doing just that, making that change and being conscious of, even if it's a little bit that's saved, it doesn't matter. It all contributes to making the world a better place. So I love that you took it that seriously, that you've actually got a team working on this to reduce or to totally get rid of food wastage. That's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
I know that you also love giving back to the community in other ways, especially during Ramadan, where you serve 1,000 meals per day within the labor camps. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We initially started off with 1,000 meals a day during Ramadan, and now we do 1,500 meals a day since the past 3 years. This idea or this, I wouldn't call it an idea because it's not generating revenue for the company, but this feeling of giving back to the community came to me because our central kitchen is inside a labor camp in Jabal Ali Free Zone. And being around here since 2016, January, 2016, December, my bad. I have seen what the people around go through here. They do a hard day of work and then they are coming back, cooking their own food and having probably a day which is as long as 18 hours and sleeping for less than 7 hours and going back to work 6 days a week. During Ramadan, which is a month of giving back to the community, I found it the right opportunity for me and my company, Hitesh Studio, to be able to do the same for the people who I see and meet every day, who are having that big smile on their face, irrespective of the hard life that they're going through. So we decided to run this CSR, and we're very thankful to all our clients and all our partners who join hands with us during this holy month of Ramadan. Come over to our kitchen facility, give a hand in cooking, give a hand in packing, also help us distribute to these people. It just brings an extra sense of joy into each and every one of us, irrespective of the hard work we put in to make those 1,500 meals. And we provide them fresh. We cook it, it's packed hot, and it's distributed hot, which is a big task. For 5 hours, each and every one of us is on their feet. We don't have a minute to sit down. It just brings a different joy.
There is nothing that brings joy like giving to others and seeing the happiness that you are able to distribute. And that you invest that much time, that many resources to ensure that people in the labor camps get a hot meal. And I love that, a hot meal during this time. It's a fantastic initiative. Well done on that.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your leadership style. You have something, you're not a micromanager, right?
Yes, I'm not.
Tell us about that. And how do you balance not being a micromanager with ensuring that all the aspects of your business run smoothly and that you are meeting high standards?
I think the fact that I am a risk taker can be somehow connected to me following the way I work. I don't micromanage. I trust and believe in people. It's paid off in a good way. Obviously, not on the first instance itself. Need to train, but also need to trust and believe in your team that they would be able to do it. If you don't give somebody an opportunity or let them try, you will never know that you have hidden gems and great talent within your team. And that's how it all began. Before, when I was working 18 hours, when Taste Studio just started, I was looking into every small aspect, making sure that we don't do things wrong. We don't go wrong in this place, that place. And that was making me burn out. I realized if I keep going this way, it's not going to work. Either I need to find more people to do it, more responsible people to do it, which would increase the salaries and the expenses of the company, or I could look for giving the opportunity to the people who've been with us for a long time and shown potential of growth. And it really worked out. We have people who've been with us since the first year of we started Taste Studio, and they've grown the ranks, and they are really the backbone of the company today. And they also thank me for letting them have the opportunity and trust me. And them performing has allowed me to take a back seat in many, many ways. We're a team of 38 people, including myself, in-house. And we have a few people working on agencies, working for us for our marketing, for our other aspects of the business, which don't really need physically people in-house.
Excellent. Very good. To trust and believe in your team helps them realize their own full potential. So I can understand why they would say thank you, to give them that opportunity to shine as well by not micromanaging them. Now, beyond your professional achievements, what are some of the personal passions or hobbies that you enjoy, and how do they influence your work-life balance?
I do always believe in work-life balance, obviously not at the expense of my work getting affected. And like I mentioned earlier, thanks to my team who've taken off a lot of load, a lot of the responsibility are taken over by them, I'm able to sit back and do the strategy work, do the assigning work, hiring the right people, and putting systems in place. And it's allowed me to have a good work-life balance, to be honest. I do work in my mind 24/7. However, physically, I'm not working 24/7. And that's what is allowing me to not burn out yet.
Excellent. Very good. Well, thank you so much for sharing this part of your story with us. Now we've come to the segment of our show where I'll ask you some rapid fire questions, our version of a game show. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you.
One word to describe your leadership style.
Work hard, play hard.
Okay. What's your favorite dish to cook?
I don't cook.
Okay. One thing you love about the UAE's food culture.
Diversified cuisines available at every nook and cranny.
Yes. What is the most important quality you look for in a team member?
Honesty.
Oh, I love that. What is one thing you do every day, no matter how busy you get?
Check my phone for the WhatsApp groups of the company.
Thank you for playing along. That was easy enough. Now, before we wrap up, we'd like to do our green pill moment. So if you took the green pill to go back in time and change one thing about your journey, what would it be?
I should have stopped micromanaging very early in the business and trusted the people earlier. I would have probably succeeded in a faster way.
Oh, that's excellent insights and some really a good tip for our entrepreneurs listening to let go of the reins a little bit. Don't try and control every aspect of the business. Trust people.
Yes.
As you said, I think that's excellent insights. And as you say, if you could learn that early in life, it will free you up a lot earlier. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your insights with us today, Hitesh. I'm so sure our audience is going to find this conversation both enjoyable and inspiring.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You are so welcome. Now, before we wrap up, could you please tell our listeners where they can find and follow you?
Oh, you can find us on Google. Look for Taste Studio Catering. You can follow us on Instagram, Taste Studio UAE. You can read our reviews on Google under the same name, Taste Studio Catering. Our website, www.tastestudio.ae. We're everywhere. Our food, our menus, our pictures, our setups, our decor, videos, reels, everything's open to the world to have a look and get your mouths watering and then give us a call.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for joining me today, Hitesh. I wish you continued success and all the very best.
Thank you as well. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Matrix Green Pill podcast, like and share it with your friends. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories like Hitesh's to you. Thank you for tuning in.
If you enjoy our conversations, please like and subscribe. See you next Wednesday.